In September, the Coralville City Council approved the installation of ALPR, automatic license plate readers, by the Flock Safety System. The cameras are designed to give law enforcement agencies alerts when a vehicle identified through an amber or silver alert issued to help authorities find missing children or adults is detected. The cameras save license plate numbers and other physical information about vehicles that pass by in the Flock data system. These cameras are not the same as speed detection cameras. Discussion about the plan to add the cameras was contentious, with hours of public comment from residents expressing concerns about privacy and the use of data collected from the cameras. Please explain your position on the use of these cameras in Coralville. And we will start with Deborah.
Well, I do support the use of the cameras in Coralville because they are a major part of the Amber Alert, and I feel that the police deserve all of the help they can get. There are cameras everywhere now. I know the mall has them and Lowe's has them to prevent retail theft. So it's not like you're not on camera. And recently there was a child who was lost, and they had a drone who found him based on heat sensitivity, which is different than the cameras, but there are electronics everywhere, and your phone is always telling people where you are.
Thank you. Next, we'll go to Kathy.
Thank you. I don't have a particular problem with automated license plate readers per se. However, the company Flock is extremely questionable. Right now, federal and state government are targeting immigrants and transgender youth and adults. In Evanston, Illinois, Flock allowed ICE to access cameras against their state laws. We do not want out-of-state law enforcement agencies searching our Flock database to assist ICE. I feel like there are uses for the cameras in terms of if a child is abducted or a car is stolen. I feel like that would allow law enforcement to catch the car a little bit easier. However, I want policies in place to hold the police department accountable for who can access the data, and also be transparent regarding how the data is used.
Thank you. Hi.
Thank you so much for the question. You know, I have been working on this issue for the last 3-4 months as a sitting city councilor, and my stand on this issue is that I do not believe that at this point the camera is useful for the city of Coralville, because first of all, the right to privacy is important to me, to every single person that call Coralville home. Second of all, I don't trust the third party who collecting and retaining our data, and we need stronger safeguard if we continue to look into installing these camera into our community. I sent an op-ed about what my stand on this issue to local media, and I will publish that op-ed on social media soon, so you can read more in detail about that. And at any time, if you have questions, please reach out to me. Thank you.
Thank you. Hi. Mike?
Yeah, thank you very much. As I just said, we've been working on this for 3 or 4 months, and I feel like I've listened to the community comments on this and have learned a lot from them. I feel like my record's pretty clear on this from our meetings. The timing is very poor for this system because of what's going on at the federal and the state level. It certainly serves a useful purpose for our police, and I understand why our police chief advocated for it and can see his perspective. But again, the timing is very bad. And the potential for abuse here, I think, is very high by our, in particular, our federal government. So that's why I came out against it. Ultimately, it was a tough choice. And now I'm advocating for a very strict policy in terms of how it can be used. We've gotten some good feedback on what we can do to limit the threat and who can have this data, and we'll continue to work on that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Marshall?
Okay, thanks. The flock contract, I believe, exemplifies the wrong way for CORALVILLE to make technology decisions. It was involved in some of my earlier attendances to the CORALVILLE Council, and it's how I got to know the CORALVILLE Council. But it also has real teeth in it, so it drew me in. The request was buried on a single budget line and voted in April without knowing. The city council didn't know that the contract had already been signed in February. The public learned of that particular contract in June after somebody filed a Freedom of Information Act and then brought it to the council where nobody had seen it. Now we're locked into a surveillance system where our data goes to a private company on one of the coasts, and the Naval Intelligence System have full access to Flock's NOVA platform, and so does the Department of Justice, Homeland Security, and and the Flock's NOVA platform combines multiple media profiles, right, and natural language services. So, okay, thank you.
Thank you. Derek?
So I've definitely heard both sides of this argument. It's been a hot button topic over the last few months. I definitely would like to learn more about what it's being used for on that level. I don't think it needs to be privatized. I think we could do something more here, but part of what I would like to look into is if we could try to figure out a way to compromise, because I think this is it's a good tool to have. Being a father of two kids, I understand those concerns. I've also had a grandma that, went missing for a very short time and then was found later kind of walking on a gravel road and things like that. So I understand those concerns, but I also understand a lot of the concerns from people worried about, the kind of sorry, I'll stop.
Jenny?
Thank you. Sorry. I came into the flock discussion originally with the view that if the CORALVILLE police think this is a helpful tool, we should support them. I then sat through a couple city council meetings and I heard concerns and fears of some residents, and made me take some pause. I did some more research, and I also read testimonials of really great stories of how they can be helpful. Silver alerts, Amber alerts right here in Iowa of where they have helped people. So I also looked at where the cameras were going to be placed. There are 3 very reasonable and very public places that the police would like to put them in CORALVILLE. After hearing from the flock representative at the city council meeting, I questioned whether our contract could be negotiated and tailored to what we wanted rather than a standard boilerplate agreement. It was confirmed that each contract meeting between flock and the municipality is unique. So my stance would be to allow these cameras in the 3 places that have been identified, but to very narrowly tailor the contract and a policy, but under the contract we would have legal recourse if they are violated.
Thank you, Jennifer. Lori?
Thank you, Jennifer, for your comments.
Oh, you're,
Okay, I just,
you will.
I didn't know if you were going through all the.
know,
like,
it's hard.
opening statements. Sorry.
It's rotating.
Okay,
Lori, go ahead.
start. All right, thank you. I appreciate everybody's comments. I know we don't, I just need to tell what I have done so far. I want to make clear that the city council heard 4 times, 2 times the budgeting sessions in January. We heard about flock. At a work session, we had a video, and we also had discussion and then a vote later in April. So we did have a number of different times to hear and understand about flock. Thank you. We want to work with surrounding communities and the county. And I voted yes, and I am very much in favor of our policy being a very strong policy. Thank you.
Ryan?
Well, if you've been to any of the previous sessions, you know that I am absolutely opposed to AI surveillance within a black box system that a third profit-driven company has access to. You may have seen recently on the news that Flock is also now partnering with Amazon Ring cameras. This is a company that is actively building profiles to sell that data to other parties. There's not a whole lot else to say other than their success rate is remarkably low. When first presented with this and with many other issues, I like to frame everything within what is the problem we are trying to solve and how does this actually accomplish that. And so far, to date, through all the research, all the community comments that we've had, our current website showing almost 100,000 hits already within this month for the cameras that are currently up, it's not solving anything.
Katie, you're up.
Sorry for jumping the gun.
No problem, no problem.
Similar to what Ryan said, if people have been attending the city council meetings or watching them later online, you'll know that I've been opposed to the flock cameras and have been actively saying so during city council meetings since June. As stated in most of my comments, these systems definitely affect and impact marginalized communities greater than any other community. Just like any of our systems, they're only as great as what data goes into them, what regulations go around them. So I was extremely disappointed when they voted to keep the contract, and now I am one of the people who is pushing to have as strict of, I would actually like an ordinance versus a policy, but as strict of regulations as we can around the system. Thank you.